Hi everybody. Our today's topic is training and development. In our earlier lecture, students, we had learnt about recruitment and selection, the first two aspects of staffing. The third and the final aspect is training. We have to understand what is training and what is development, the difference between training and development, the benefits of training. That benefit is both to the employee and to the organization. And then finally, we will also be learning about the different types of training. So let us start with a simple definition of training, which earlier also we have learned. What is training? Training is a process of improving or increasing the knowledge, skill, and ability of the employees for doing a particular job effectively and efficiently. Now, training is always given related with the job so that a person is able to perform the job in a better manner. That is why training has to be given from time to time to equip a person with the job so that he specializes in doing the work, and that will always be leading to effectivity and efficiency. But when we say development is related with overall growth of an employee. We have to understand one thing, that development is always a wider concept where improvement in all spheres of life of a person happens when a person develops. Overall growth of a person takes place, and when overall growth of a person takes place, a person becomes capable of taking up challenges in life and is able to deal with it effectively. Whereas when we talk about training is basically undertaken in order to see that the person learns the work, learns to do the work the best way, in the best way, and also by learning more and more better skills, the person certainly is in a position to move to a higher position in the organization. So there is a topic, need for training. Nowadays, this need for training has increased over time. Earlier, we could see that when jobs were simple, there was less need to upgrade oneself with the skills, because there was no changing skills which were required in the job. If a person joined a job, maybe there was a possibility that not much changes in the way of doing the job or performing the job was required, for which training was needed. But with the changing time, especially in the last quarter of the century, we have seen that jobs have become complex nowadays, and each and every job requires different types of skills to be learned and updated from time to time, so that the method of producing goods and services, that can be improved, the way or the manner in which these services and goods they are provided, that can also be improved. With increasing competition, the pressure has also increased, and there has been need felt to readapt with the changing environment, with the changing needs, especially because of the technological changes which have occurred over time, due to which the need for training has also increased nowadays. So it is very important. If this training is needed for every person in the organization, we see that it is beneficial to the organization. That is why the organization arranges for training of its employees from time to time. So we are going to learn about the importance of training or the benefits of training, and this benefit is both to the organization and also to the employees. We'll be learning one by one. First of all, the benefit of training to the organization. First point is systematic learning. Training provides systematic learning, because under different phases we see that a person is trained, a person is made to learn the new skill, and that is why no trial and error happens in the organization, or no hit and trial happens in the organization, as a result of which it always benefits the organization when this systematic learning process through training is adopted by the organization. It is always beneficial because it reduces wastages in this way. Second point, higher profits for the organization, because a person, if an employee, if he gets training in the organization, a trained employee will always lead to increased production, both quantitatively and qualitatively, and if there is increased production, there are always higher chances of increasing profit. Develops future manager. More and more is the skill acquired by a person through training. There is always a possibility to be promoted to better positions in the organization. A person certainly gets a chance to rise up in the organization by training. So it is beneficial for the organization, because the organization doesn't have to look after people from outside to fill in the vacant post whenever it arises. From uh, within the organization, amongst the existing employees, those who are capable and those who have the potential to work at better positions in the organizations, they may be given the chance. So it is always beneficial for the organization to have managers, future managers, through training. So reduce absenteeism and employee turnover. There are 2 points. Reduce absenteeism. Once the employee is trained in the organization, he is motivated from inside, and if he or she is motivated from inside, he would be punctual, he would be regular, he would not escape from his work, and would like to show his loyalty and devotion to the organization by working in the best possible manner. And if it is happening in the organization, always the organization benefits out of it. Employee turnover. Turnover means the rate of leaving the organization. An employee, if it is training always improves the motivation level of a person, self-esteem of a person, satisfaction level of the person to work and perform the job in a better manner, and the less chances of labor turnover is there in the organization, which is always useful for the organization in that case. Minimizes need for supervision. Less need of supervision will be there, because people once trained, they will learn to do the work as a you may say specialized worker, and in this way we see that the organization will always benefit out of it. And if there is less supervision required, then the higher level authorities, they can focus more on their important work rather than spending their time on overtime supervision. So effective response to the ever changing environment. With the help of training, once the employee learns to do the work effectively and efficiently, they will not resist from changes, and this will always help the organization to adapt to the ever changing requirements of the environment. So in this way it is always helpful. Benefits of training to the employees. It is not only beneficial to the organization, but also we see that training is beneficial to the employees. The first point is because the employee can have better career option. If a person is trained in the organization and the vacancy for the higher level position arises in the organization, person can be given a chance of promotion to work on a position which requires higher competence that can be acquired through training. Better earning capacity. The more training provides the opportunity to earn more, because with the increase in the skill, the chances certainly increases of an employee to earn more. Employee, third point is more efficient. Employee can perform the work in a much better manner through training, and that provides a greater level of satisfaction and motivation to the employees. Increases morale of the employees. The morale is high, the self-esteem of an employee is high if the employee feels that he is in a position to meet out the requirements of the organization. Then essential for new employees, training helps the new employees to acquaint with the environment of the organization, with the work, with the especially the orientation training we have seen, with the new way and the demand of the job, and in this way it helps the organization to make the new employee comfortable in the organization, and organization certainly gets a feeling of belongingness from the employees once they settle properly in the organization. So this is always beneficial for the employees because they learn about through training about the every details of the organization and the job. Checks accidents. A person, once he becomes perfect in doing the work, there is less chances of accidents to occur, which may occur in case an untrained person is working, especially on hazardous or dangerous, you may say, nature of work. So in this way, we see that training is always helpful. Now let us learn the difference between training and development on 5 bases. Meaning, when we say training always is a process to improve the knowledge and skill of a person. When we say development is to improve overall an individual in terms of personality. Orientation, training is oriented towards job, whereas always development is orientation towards better career. Focus of training is to improve work efficiency, and focus of development is logical and rational thinking that could be improved. Scope of training is narrow. When we talk about scope of development, it has a wider scope. Goal, the purpose of training is to fulfill the needs of the work requirement or the organizational goals, we may say, and the purpose of development is overall growth of an individual, and that helps the individual to fulfill its self-actualization needs, what one is capable of becoming. So with this, we have seen the concept of training and development explained to you all, so that you can differentiate between the two and also understand the concept, why it is very, very important in every organization. Now we are going to learn the final topic, types of training. There are basically 2 types of training: on the job training and off the job training. On the job means training is provided to the employees while doing the work. On the job means while doing the work, and while doing the work, if training is provided, it is provided at the workplace. Whereas when we say off the job training, that means off the job means away from the workplace. That is why if off the job training is to be done, then provided, then it is learning before doing. Always that training is provided learning before doing. Actually, once the person performs the job, before that the training is provided so that a person can perform his work properly. So there are different types of on the job and off the job training. According to the syllabus, we will be learning about 3 types of on the job training, and in off the job training we have only one vestibular training which we will be learning. First of all, let us talk about on the job training. I start with orientation training. Orientation or introduction training it is also called. We have earlier also learned that this is basically at the stage after selection, once the employee is to be placed on the job. This orientation training is provided to the new employees who come to join in the organization, where they are oriented with the entire workplace, their superiors, their subordinates, the rules and regulations, the policies of the organization, the facilities, which may be in the form of canteen facility, which may be in the form of, you may say, conference room, whatever facilities are there in the organization, so that the employee has a feeling of belongingness for the organization, and in this way the organization always has a chance that the permanent tenure of the employee can be there in the organization if the employee feels satisfied. So that is what is orientation training. Second is internship training. Now internship training happens when there is collaboration between the educational institution and the business firm. For this, we see that theoretical knowledge is provided in the educational institutions and practical knowledge that is given by the business organization. So that collaboration helps the student who is studying in any educational institution, especially the students who are undergoing professional studies in the field of engineering, in the field of you may say medical science. In such fields we see that students, they get the theoretical knowledge and in the colleges and universities, and practical knowledge they get in the business organizations where they practically learn about the work. So both theory and practical they come to know. But once they start their practical knowledge in the business organizations, it also pays to them some amount for that training period which they undergo, and that amount is called the stipend which they are paid during their internship period. And you may say person who is getting that training is called the intern. So this kind of training is popular, especially in case of professional courses. And the third is the apprenticeship training. Apprentices, they are those who work under the guidance of the master worker, and especially apprenticeship training is provided for skilled jobs. For example, a person wants to get skilled as fitter, as a carpenter, or as you may say artisan, or as plumber, then the training has to be provided, and that person who is getting training is called the apprentice. And that training generally varies between 2 to 5 years. Under the government has passed the act which is called Apprentice Act 1961, after which such types of training has been provided for skilled work, and that helps the person who is getting training to be employed in job if he is having a particular skill related with the work. And the training is provided by the master worker under whom the apprenticeship takes place. And we see that the period of training may vary. Generally it is 2 to 5 years of training which happens, but if there are slow learners, they may be further given more chances to acquaint with the knowledge in a proper manner, so that person can be trained properly. And in this way we see that a person gets capable of performing the work properly, and later on, after completing the training, the organization itself may appoint the trained employee in the organization. For example, we can take the example of Tata organization, we can take the example of railways. They all have their own apprentices, and after completing the apprentice training, they are also provided employment in the organization. So in this way it is always beneficial. During the apprenticeship training also, the apprentices, they get stipend which is fixed by the organization, so that for the work which they are doing they are paid also, but that is a fixed amount. After they come in employment, for the organization, then they are paid the complete salary. Up till that time, they are paid the stipend. So these are the three different types of on-the-job training, where we see that the trainee certainly learns at the workplace and learning while doing. This is what is called on the job. The second type of training is off the job, that means away from the workplace, and that is why it is learning before doing. And vestibule training is specially provided in order to see that sometimes in an organization there are so many sophisticated machines and equipments which the candidate will have to handle, and those are expensive equipments and machines and instruments. That is why you may say a replica of the work environment that is created so that a person can be given training before actually coming to work at the workplace, so that he can learn about the use of such expensive equipments and tools and machines, so that they are able to handle those sophisticated tools and machineries properly at the workplace once they come in the organization. So this kind of training is provided to such types of people, or you may say personnel, who have to handle sophisticated you may say automatic machineries which are very expensive and that cost much high. And that is why such type of training helps the trainee to learn to use those machines and equipments in a proper manner once they join the organization. So in this way we have seen that this topic is complete, and this chapter is also complete with this topic. So in this chapter we have staffing. We have completed the entire aspects of staffing, which included recruitment, selection and training. We learned about the differences between training and development also, and we also learned about the types of training on the job and off the job training. And if this training is provided, it is always beneficial to the employees and the organization. So with this chapter comes to an end. Next lecture we'll be starting the new chapter.